Hello, Blue Vibrations! Welcome to your 2019-2020 show choir banquet. I know, it's not exactly like we had planned, and it's going to be really strange for me to sit here in front of this screen and hand out awards and say thank yous and have there not be any applause. I mean, you know I love applause, right? Anyway, we're going to do the best we can, and throughout this, there will be a couple student speeches, as well as my own speech and recap of the year, some thank yous, and some special awards. But the one thing that we can't do is sing our ballad one last time. So that for me is going to be kind of hard to miss, but not nearly, not even close to as difficult as it will be to miss the parent show. So this is just a shout out to you parents who like to usually perform in our spoof where the parents perform the Blue Vibe show. You're gonna have to be thinking extra hard to really step it up for the next time that you all can get together as your own little show choir and show us what you've got, because I think that is the real travesty and the biggest thing we're gonna be missing is that parent show. There might also be a special guest appearance by the one person that you're probably really here to see more than me. And so sit back, enjoy the ride, and thank you for watching. One big part of our banquet is always thank yous. There are so many thank yous to say. I know that I could never take care of this one big job myself. There's so many things that go into a show choir season being successful, and there's so many people that help us with that. And so just a few thank yous that I wanted to make sure I mentioned. First and foremost would be to the students who commit their time and their energy and their emotion and their passion into doing something really positive. And it makes me proud to know that these students, while they're in show choir, are making memories that will last a lifetime, and it makes me so happy that they're willing to put everything into it that they do, and I think that they get the reward in so many different ways, and it really keeps me going in terms of what we do, and it makes me want to do it again every single season, even when we get down and out and it's hard and it's long. The end product always reminds me how worthwhile it is. So a huge thank you to all the Blue Vibes members. Then we have our amazing crew members. The crew, this year especially, we had some costumes that were kind of hard to handle, I guess we would say. They required a little extra care. They were wonderful at that, and led really by some key parents who did a ton of work with our costumes. That would be Katie Keller and Sue Keller and Carol Furch, among many other parents who volunteered time to come and help sew and organize and label. And there's probably many more people that helped that I'm missing. There's a lot of CSI parents who had been doing costumes for a long time that were willing to step in and help as needed. But between crew and those costume moms, if you will, we had a great season of looking really good on stage. And that has a lot to do with those crew members and those awesome costume parents. So huge thank you on that front. The next thank you would be to our trailer driver, Mr. Thompson. He has a student who's going to be a senior next year, so I'm just throwing that plug out there. If there's anyone else who has a big truck and wants to drive the show choir trailer around, that's a huge job, and we're looking for someone to replace Mr. Thompson after next year. He's wonderful, and so him actually and his wife Trudy deserve a ton of gratitude from all of us for bringing all of our stuff with us. It's always fun to be driving down the road in the charter bus at the end of the night and see Jeremy and Trudy rolling down the road back to Central with us, and it's a tireless job. And so huge thank you to Mr. Thompson. If you weren't sure that that was even an option, now you know, and we would love for some help with that coming up. And then the team that I work with to make show choir even happen would be Mr. Reese, who I owe just so many thanks to. I can't even begin to thank him enough. Not only is he an awesome colleague, I feel like I learned pretty much everything I know about choir, show choir, teaching from him. He's also an amazing friend and colleague. And luckily, he's been really patient with me over the last 15 years, helping me to figure out how to be a show choir director. And if you watch him, you will learn how to be a great one. So I'm really lucky, and huge thanks to Mr. Reese. When we're in warm-up, I always know that he's got my back and he's helping, throwing out advice and just general cheers to the kids, and it's just nice to have a second person in there. And then Mr. Keller, back in the band, who is just an awesome, awesome cheerleader for the pit. He is the one that gets them to learn their music and to become the awesome instrumentalists that they are, backing up the show choirs. And so huge thanks to Mr. Keller. He is passionate about what he does, and he makes it really fun, not just for the students in the band, but he knows all the choir kids as well. And it's just awesome to have him on the team and have someone dedicated to the band so that they get everything they need from him. Last but certainly not least would be our choreographer, who just happens to be my husband. There's a lot of show choir going on in the Schrank household, as you can imagine. And luckily for us, we both love it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have dedicated our lives to it. We feel a special bond with show choir because it's how we met, and it's the reason that we're together today and have an awesome family, an awesome marriage, and we have his awesome, awesome guidance as we are learning our choreography, perfecting our choreography. Not only has Ben an incredible visual creator of the choreography that he gives the students, but he's a wonderful teacher and puts it into terms that the students can understand and latch onto. He helps them learn it in so many different ways, and he's so willing to find new ways to teach that I feel like every student can really learn from him. And not only do they learn it well. They learn it in a way that becomes ingrained in them, and they can remember it, and they can perform it and add to it every single time that that choreography happens in their body. So we're really lucky to have him designing our shows, designing our choreography, pushing our students, caring about the program. If you didn't know it, he's the one that came up with the Blue Vibes cheer that we do every time before we go into performance. So he is just so huge in what we do, and I just can't thank him enough. And we're lucky that we are one of the many groups that he spends time working with, and that he is willing to put so much time into Blue Vibes to make it an awesome, awesome group. Other than that, we do have some incredible principals and administrators at Central who support what we do with the show choirs 1,000%. So we're so lucky to have them. They are a kind of a silent part of our team, but a part of the team nonetheless, making sure that we have what we need, answering questions, helping us make some tough decisions at times, and they are just so supportive and such big cheerleaders for the music program, and especially the show choirs at Central. So we're really lucky to have an awesome administrative team led by Mr. Flynn. And not only that, but we also have just an incredible music department at Central. Between the band and the orchestra and the choir, I think we have some of the best, and we're lucky to have all of us as a team helping to make our students better each and every time. And lastly would be all of you parents. If you're watching, thank you. Thank you so much. Throughout the season, we ask so much of you, especially with a prep group where the kids need rides all the time, they need support, they need monetary support, they need food at our camps, and I have just never met parents more willing to help out and to jump in, and when we ask for things, you do it. And many of you have your own jobs, obviously, but many of you make being there for your students part of that job. And we appreciate it so much, whether it's riding the bus to competitions, helping monitor the homerooms. Every single thing that you do makes you as a parent a part of the team. Even if it's just setting out all the things that go into that bag buddy gift, or however you help, you are a volunteer for our program and you're helping your student, and that helps everyone. So the parents, and especially our booster parents who are part of the DC Vocal Booster team as members of the board, or who just come to the meetings, Without the vocal boosters, we could not do what we do. So thank you to all of you parents who help in whatever way you help. Please know that there is nothing better you could do for your student than to spend time with them in some capacity, even if it's just as an audience member and they tell you they don't want you to come. They do. And it means the world to them, and it means the world to us as your directors. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of our parents and our students, the other teachers, our administration, our choreographer, my family, my colleagues, and my friends. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, in case you forgot my name, I'm Carter Barter, um, and I guess I'm doing this speech. So, first of all, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well in quarantine, because it's been rough for a few people, me including. And I miss a lot of you, uh, because, I mean, I, I like show choir, obviously, and show choir is a lot of fun, and I got to meet a bunch of people, uh, and I hope you're doing well in general, and I miss a lot of you. Um, Show choir is something that I think is really important to me. I've been only involved in it with 2 years in the program, obviously, but it's just so big in my life because I remember some of my earliest memories was in grade school. We'd have trips for choir, and they'd take us to the Adler Theater to watch the show off. I remember watching Central, and I could sit there and I was like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. And now to be a part of that group is amazing and a little surreal. Um, so show choir has always kind of been there, and to be in it now is just fantastic. And I think this year was much different from last year because from last year, I viewed show choir as more of a hobby on the side of everything else. Just something that you go to, you get it done, it'll be done, blah, blah, blah. Talk to your friends here and there. But this year, it seemed more like I was more into it and I wanted to really, 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 really try my hardest instead of just being an activity I showed up for. And I like to think I did my best, and I think a lot of people did their best too. And I'm really proud of the group and the efforts that we put in this year. And just want to say congratulations to everyone and how well our teamwork actually improved as time went along, and how we really did want to improve this group. We had a lot of leaders, and we had great soloists to help us out this year, and kudos to them because that's some hard. It's difficult to just talk. It's difficult for me to talk right now, and I'm in front of a camera alone in a room. And so for you to sing in front of hundreds of people, you've got some of the. I admire you a lot. So good job to you for that. And just show choir is amazing. And I hope you guys stick with it because this program gets even better and better as time goes along. And I think it'd be great for memories. You meet some of the most amazing people. I've met some really nice people thanks to show choir. And I've gained bonds with people stronger because of show choir. And it's just a program that I think is just one of the best out there regarding music. So even if, you know, it's just not something that's your thing, that's fine. It's the fact that you came out here and you tried it, and I admire that you're trying new things. But I recommend that you keep with show choir because it's just a blast. Um, And yeah, that's all I really have to say. Good job, everyone, this year, and stay safe during quarantine.
All right, so one of the most important parts of this banquet, virtual or live, would be to talk about our competition season. Seems like a really long time ago now, but we did have a really exciting competition season, and I want to congratulate all of you on what was really not just an exciting season competition wise, but a really enjoyable season. Just so much fun. We spent a lot of time together, some really early mornings, some late nights, obviously, as is the norm for this thing called show choir that we do and that we love. But if we reflect back on our season, there were some really great, actually competitive things too. So there's the fun, there's the bus rides, there's the warm up, there's the homeroom, all the things that you guys do, all the weird things you do, all the fun you have, all the groups you watch. And then there is our results, which, as I always remind students, yes, when you compete, there are results and there are goals that you have, that we have as a group to do well. But I always tell the students, and I mean it when I say that the most important thing is that every single time they compete, they are better than their own last performance, that they beat themselves every time. Whether they beat every group at the competition, my goal is always to be moving forward and beating ourselves basically, and making sure that every performance gets better and that every individual does their very best to make the group its best. And many times, if we do that, we see those results pay off on paper. So, looking back to our season, if you all remember, we started out at North with a really early morning. We were the very first group of the day, first prep group, the first group overall. And we were first and CSI was last. So that made for a really long competition day. What's nice is that we didn't get on a bus and we could just show up at North and get ready and perform on our own home turf, if you will, and give a chance to many of our local fans to come watch us perform. And so we started the season out at North, where we got third out of the prep division. And with an early morning performance like that, I was excited about that. We were beat by a couple of really good groups, and I thought that we started out the season really strong and put ourselves on a great trajectory to know what we needed to work on and where we needed to go as we moved forward. So our second competition of the season was at Mount Pleasant. Thinking back to Mount Pleasant, a lot more of a pleasant day, if you will, where we weren't on the bus quite as early. We didn't have that far to go, and our performance slots were a lot better as far as the time of day went. And at Mount Pleasant, we were lucky enough to place first in the prep division and win our division, and fifth overall of all the groups there during the daytime competition round, which then placed us in finals, which is always really exciting. Not all prep groups get the chance to make finals and to be a part of that mix, the top 6 groups of the day going on to perform and compete again at night. And Blue Vibes has had kind of a record of being able to make finals at Mount Pleasant, and this group was no different. And they had a great daytime show, taking them into finals. I personally can think back and remember the excitement of the group making finals and feeling what that was like, to then have to go back to the room, reset, get yourselves ready, get your things ready, and to be ready to go on again at night. And we always have the goal of making finals, whether that happens or not. And this was the one competition this year where Blue Vibes was able to accomplish that goal. So it was really exciting. Being first place in the daytime round, 5th overall, and then remaining in 5th that night when we performed in finals. And it's just always exciting to have to pick a second round of people to go up and accept our awards, and to be a part of that awards ceremony at night, and to see where we land, and to get the opportunity to have 2 full shows and get better for each one. Our next competition was one we had never been to and tried out new this year, not that far away, but because we were new, we were early in the day, obviously. So this was our early morning heading into Naperville, the Chicago suburbs, and wow, I think we were all blown away at being in the arena and fighting for our place at the Clash of the Sequins. And this was a really cool moment because Miss Miraz, our student teacher, went to Naperville North High School, and so she was there, her mom was there. It was really nice to see a familiar face at a school we'd never been to. I remember Mr. Reese and Mr. Keller and I walking around having no idea even where to go. The school itself being huge, we were kind of like tiny fish in a really big pond. And so we were happy to see Miss Miraz there, and she joined us in warm-up, which was exciting. The facilities were incredible, and then we went in to the arena and the light show and the theme song and all of the smoke and the sound in there, and it was pretty incredible. The screens, just the overall atmosphere of this clash. And I think regardless of how that day played out, we were so glad to be there, so glad to experience it. It was just an incredible performance atmosphere. And I know that the students really, really enjoyed that, and it was just something so different than we'd done. And we were really happy to be a part of that. At Naperville North, we placed second in the small mixed division, and a first in my career at Central in these last 15 years, believe it or not. Blue Vibes won the Caption Award for Best Vocals, which was really exciting, meaning that the group that got first place did not sweep their captions, and we took one of those captions and we split them. So we got second place and a caption for Best Vocals, which really, as a director, just was a great moment. Made me really proud of the students and how they were singing and how they've finally learned how important the vocal piece is of the show choirs, and that it kind of doesn't matter how great you look and how well you dance, you really have to sing too, and I think that this group really did well with that. Unfortunately, CSI didn't make finals, and I was proud of the students and how they rallied around each other and had such a fun day anyway. It's not typical for CSI to miss finals, but it was a great competition, and I think that both groups were really strong. And so we didn't take it to heart too much, especially considering the overall season that CSI had this year. But it's always awesome for me to watch the kids be there for each other and to rally around anyone who's not feeling great about the day. And overall, I felt like the students really, really had a fun time at Naperville anyway. Then that took us into our final competition at Western Dubuque. We've been to Western Dubuque a couple times before, and so we were back in a place where we kind of knew what was going on, knew where to go, knew what to do. Love the facility, beautiful auditorium. And at Western Dubuque, we placed first in the prep division out of the 5 groups that were there in that division, and 7th overall during the day, which was just 1 spot out of finals, unfortunately. So at that competition, they did a couple extra caption awards. Oh, and I forgot to mention, at Naperville, they had an outstanding performer judge, one person all day long who was dedicated to just looking for one person on stage they wanted to name the outstanding performer. And at Naperville, that was Luke Wislander for us. And they did kind of the same thing at Western Dubuque, and they awarded Nyana Bragg the Outstanding Performer Award as well as the Best Female Soloist Award. We also took home the Best Male Soloist with Gage McAllister at Western Dubuque, and if I'm not mistaken, this wasn't in my results packet, but I do believe that Gage won Best Male Soloist one more time at North, I think is correct. So lots of group victories, lots of individual victories, and what I try to remind all of the students all the time is that really there is no individual in the art of show choir. Every student is seen every time, every place we go. The whole group is what determines our results, from the crew down to every single member of the band, Mr. Keller, and even Mr. Reese is part of that team. And then we have CSI even down in the front cheering us on, as well as all the parents. And so really, to me, individuals do contribute and do so much for the group, but overall, we are such a team. And this competition season in particular, I felt very much a team. I saw so many people helping individual members be part of the team, to feel part of the team, and having just a real team mentality. In warm up, you could feel it, and it was the energy that took us out onto the stage and helped us to do so well. So huge congratulations to the group on an amazing season, one that won't soon be forgotten.
Hey guys, it's been a while. I miss you all so much, and I hope that you're doing well during this time. I know that things are difficult. Everything is getting canceled left and right, and we're all stuck at home. We can't even have our banquet together, but I'm glad that we can have it digitally. And I just want to say I'm so honored to have this opportunity to talk to you guys and to talk about the season. I'm so proud of each and every single one of you for all the hard work and the effort that you put in. BV put on a lot of really amazing shows, and I'm so proud of you guys. Honestly, freshman year was my first year in public school, and that was kind of terrifying. But show choir was the one place where I really felt like I could be myself, and that's where I made friends in a school filled with strangers. And so I really can't ever thank BV enough for that. And just all the amazing memories and moments that show choir has just blessed me with. Like this year, I remember, I think it was that show, the show off? Yeah, the show off. There were some of us leading vocal warm-ups before a performance, just right behind the curtain. And it was so cool because I got to see that leadership in myself and in other people, and just how we could all work together to just have fun and prepare, ourselves for our performance. That was really cool to see. Probably one of the best moments of the year was being at Naperville. We took a group photo, and I tweeted it, and moments later it appeared on the big screen in the arena. And we thought it was the funniest thing. We kept taking videos and pictures of our picture on the screen, and it was so funny. And oh my gosh, there were just so many good memories from this year. And I hope that you guys have made memories and had moments this year that really just are sticking with you, and you just love them, and you look back at them and smile, because that's a really great thing that show choir can give us, is just memories that we can hold on to for a long time. I really want to thank Mrs. Schrank for always being so patient with us, and for being an amazing teacher and just helping us get to where we need to go, helping us grow, leading us and guiding us, and being a great communicator, always telling us what we need and the information that we need. You're so organized, I can't even imagine. And we are just so blessed to have you. Thank you so much, Schrank, for everything that you've done for us. You're the best director we could have had. I also want to thank Ben Schrank for the weeks of camp that he led for us. And I can't even imagine the hours of work and thought that you put into the choreography and everything to just help create our show. And our show was awesome. It was so much fun. And so thank you so much for that. And thank you for always pushing us, to take that step to be better than we were before. So thank you so much for that. I also want to thank Mr. Reese and Mr. Keller for everything that you do to either compose the music or make it come to life. You're amazing teachers, and you're always funny and just making the day brighter and better. And we are so thankful to have you guys. Our music was amazing this year. So thank you so much for everything that you've done and for all the hard work that you put in. I also want to thank band and crew. You're all so important and so vital to show choir. The band is so talented, and you guys create amazing, awesome music. And the crew, we could not have done any of it without you guys, because you take our costumes from here to there, you organize things, you wash things, you do so much for us, and I'm so thankful for you guys. But likewise, I want to thank BV. I want to thank you guys. You each have found a way to impact my life, and I'm so thankful for that. You're all talented and wonderful people. Yeah, show choir isn't always easy, but it's the fight that makes it worth it in the end. We're all different, but, I'm glad that we can all be passionate about this specific thing. I can't imagine what it would be like had I not gone to Central or tried out for show choir. I'm just so happy to have met you all, and never in my life have I loved being on a team like ours so much. So thank you guys for all the laughs and for the support that I see in each other, for the tears of joy or sadness, for the comfort, for the encouragement, and for the hard work. I'm so, so proud of each and every single one of you for everything that you've done this year, and I'm excited to see where you go from there. I love you all dearly. I'm so thankful for you guys. Stay safe during this time, and I miss you all so much.
All right, now it's time to announce the winners of our special awards. Each year at the end of the season, we allow the students to vote on their peers on who they believe deserves just a little extra shout out. Every student is eligible to win these awards, and every student is eligible to vote. And so now I will let you know who won this year's awards. The special award for outstanding leadership goes to Anaya Mariani. The special award for most enthusiastic, not a surprise, goes to Jackson Bloodsworth. The special award for most improved member goes to Ryan Ensley. The award for best attitude goes to Sam Carter. Very well deserved. The special award for best show choir hair goes to Emily Diekman. We have a couple awards for our most dedicated students. The first one is most dedicated new member, and that goes to Mayanna Russell. Our most dedicated returning member is being awarded to Lindsay Volkwartson. The award for best facial expression, really important obviously in show choir, this one goes to Carly Murphy. The award for strongest dancer, this one was close, but it was awarded this year to Nyana Bragg. Now we can't forget, there's not just the singers and the dancers that make us strong, but there's the crew members and there's the band behind us. So we have some awards for our crew members. Outstanding crew member goes to Emma Viapondo. And outstanding pit member, as chosen not by the pit members themselves, but by the Blue Vibes members, goes to Sierra Craig. Just a couple more awards now to present to Blue Vibes members. The next one is for most show-stopping performer, and that goes to Jenna Van Hoosier. This award could be implying on or off stage, but most likely on stage, as the special award for biggest smile goes to Andrew Golderman. An important part of the season is not only what happens on stage in our performances, but off, as the students spend so much time together. And so there's an award for the best shoulder to lean on and listening ear, and that goes to Sarah Simmons. Actually, what I forgot is that that one was a tie, and it would be no surprise that along with Sarah, the other person that won this award was Naomi O'Leary. That concludes our awards. I do have the actual award certificates here that I'm going to either send out in the mail or have the school distribute at the awards ceremony that they do, either later in the year, or they may do it virtually as well, in which case they'll be sending out some other physical awards, and I might have the school send these. If not, you can expect to see them in your mailbox sent by me. Great job, everyone. All right, I will take just a few moments to just give you my parting words and my thoughts on what this group was and what this season meant to me, at least, and hopefully to you all, and to just kind of wrap this up. First of all, I want you all to think back to our very first warm-up. Think what it's like to spend all that time getting ready in the homeroom, and you're hanging out with your friends, you're having your hair done, girls, some guys. You are getting into that costume, You're getting ready to go physically, mentally, and you're spending that time, and it's all leading toward this thing that's coming. And the very first time you go into it, whether it's as a returning member and it's the first time of the season, or you're brand new and it's the first time you've ever done anything like this, you are gearing up, you're getting ready. And then for me, whether you know it or not, warm up is a highlight. I know it's just the warm up, but to me, some of the moments that we share together in warm up are some of the best moments of the day. There are silly moments, there are fun moments, there are serious moments. Watching you all prepare yourselves, how seriously you take it. I just want you to think back, kind of looking over what I've been doing is just reminiscing back on what does a show choir day look like? And what does that feel like? And why do we do what we do? And why is it important? And why do we miss it? And why do we maybe grieve a little bit that we can't be together like we were? And so I've been thinking, what's a show choir day like? And so think about that moment. You walk into warm up. I'm always nervous, so nervous. I'm not a performer. I'm not performing with you all, but I get so nervous as if I was. And walking into that warm up for me is just such a fun moment. Sometimes I wish we could take more people through this with us, but it's so fun and so exciting. You get your jitters out, hopefully, or at least start getting them out and start physically doing what it is you're going to do on stage. And we're all together and we all start forming this kind of team zone that we get into. And we prepare physically. When there's mirrors in the warm-up room, you're performing to a mirror. You're watching yourself. You're seeing what you can do. You might even be seeing yourself do something you haven't done before and you like and you're excited for. And so those warm-up moments are so great for me. We do different parts of our show. We might walk through something that's been rusty or that needs a little attention at the time. But really, it's just being together. It's that sense of energy and fun and that collective moment of just focusing on one goal, all these people, one goal, and doing that together. And that's, for me, sometimes just as fun as the performance. But then we leave warm up, we do our cheer. Who are we, BV? What are we, family? Who are we, BV? Let's go, you know. That moment is amazing. I love having different students break us out. If you think back, it's just that last moment of excitement and energy before we go into perform. Now, I was never in show choir as a student. I was in kind of a vocal show ensemble, similar but not the same in college. But I will never truly know what it's like to step on that show choir stage as a performer. I can only imagine, just based on the way I see you all react and what I see you do, how amazing it must be. But I want you to think back to those moments you are on stage, as you consider, is this something I'm going to keep doing? Does it feed me? Does it make me so happy? Does it make me so proud? And is it worth continuing to work on? And for so many of you, I know it will be, because what I see as your audience member, your director out there, standing by the judges table, I see so much joy, so much excitement, so much happiness, concentration, focus, care, concern, attention, drive, spirit, power. Those are the things that I see on stage. And there may not be that many moments in your life when you get to show off like that, and that you've done enough hard work to really, really just bring it and be on stage and be in the moment, fully confident, fully knowing that what you do is going to be amazing. And so I love those moments, being out in the audience, watching you do what you do, knowing there's nothing more I could do at that moment, even though there are times I will things to you on the stage. But there's just no greater feeling of satisfaction and pride than watching you up there. And I want you to really think back to what that felt like, because none of the results on paper will ever be as strong or as important as a feeling and a memory that you have from doing it. And more than anything, it's a feeling and it's a part of you. And so just take time now as we reflect on our season to think back to what that was like. And the highs, sometimes the lows, but mostly the highs of that performance feeling and that energy and excitement that you get from it. And those are the times when all the hard work and maybe the frustration or the tears or the just lack of caring, that's when it pays off, is on the stage. When we get done with our performance, we go into critique, and I was proud this year of our students and how well they responded in critique, and they listened, and so many times we got pointers in critique that we took home and worked on and changed and made part of our show and made our show better. And so part of show choir is learning, and it's a big part of show choir. And I think this year this group did such a great job learning every time they performed and taking what they learned and putting it into their next show. It was really exciting. So the critique is a big part of that process. And those notes that you get in critique are what can make or break you in terms of success moving forward. When we're done with critique, we usually go back to homeroom. It's a time to decompress. It's a time to high-five your friends, hug your families. You walk down the hallway and a lot of times there's cheering, and it's just such a great feeling. So I encourage you to think back about that too. Think back on every single part of your show choir day. Just the bus ride even. Bus ride there. Some people sleep, some people talk. The bus ride home, probably a little more exciting usually, but the moments that you have, whether it's a big moment or a small moment, are all part of your memories of this awesome thing that we do called show choir. As we spend the rest of our day watching other show choirs and bonding with each other and being together and supporting each other and talking and enjoying and just being kids, I enjoy watching the students do that as well. They spend the afternoon maybe helping another member with hair for CSI, just watching groups, making themselves better, being critical, and not in a negative way, but in a way that they say, I like what you're doing, I want to do that, I want to do something similar, I want to recreate that in my own way. And studying basically is what they're doing. It's like watching another game, for an athlete. So that's part of the day. And then one of the more exciting parts, I think, for the Blue Vibes kids is watching CSI and being part of their team and cheering them on. And I really, really appreciated and enjoyed watching them be great team members in that way this year too. And I think if the students were asked, they would tell you that some of their greatest, most fun times are sitting in those front few rows, cheering, doing the Blue Vibes and CSI cheers that have become part of our tradition, watching their mentors or those people that they strive to be like or just love, and being part of their energy on stage as well, and knowing that that could be them someday. And then we've got our daytime awards ceremony where we've got a couple Blue Vibes members up there waiting for results with the CSI kids that are up there. And it all kind of starts over again. And maybe we're going into finals and maybe we're not, but usually CSI is. And just being part of this overall greater good and greater goal of being together and being a family. Those are the things that, as we are now home and not really doing much as a big group or as a family or as a team of anything, those are the things that I hope you're thinking about right now. And that will help get you through this and help you to know that this is going to eventually get better, and we're eventually going to be back together and we'll be able to do it again some way, somehow. We don't know right now what that looks like. But in the meantime, you have made some incredible memories this year, and I want you to think back to them, and I want you to cling to them, and I want you to enjoy thinking about what an awesome year we had together and all the moments you were a good person and you were a helpful person and a kind person, and all the things that you learned this year in show choir, whether they were on or off stage. Think about those things now, and hopefully those will be the things that get us through these hard times, our memories and the fun that we've had together, and knowing that we will do it again. Thanks, guys. All right, here's that content you've probably been waiting for. This is just purely a little hello from Harper Louise. Hello, Blue Vibes #1 fan. Yay! Yay! Can you say hi? Hi! Yay, Blue Vibes! She's been working on her clapping. Harper, can you clap? Say yay! Yay! She's pretty sad that she didn't get to come to the banquet and see all of you, but here she is. Harper, can you say, how big are you? How big? So big! She's so big, and she can't wait till the next time she can watch show choir herself. Right? Yeah. Say hi. Say, yeah. Can you say bye? Bye. Look over here. Say bye. 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 Bye, everybody.